Succulents. I'm here with my friend Gina. We just made these awesome dried flower arrangements, and we made a video about it, how to incorporate tillandsia and succulents in with dried flowers. And if you'd like to watch that, we're going to put the link below. But now, Gina and I are going to work with some succulents and maybe make a wreath and a pot. So, anyway.
Yes. These plants are just so beautiful, and I just could not wait to work with them. So just this little planter, it's fun to just do. The soil is already in here, and we're working with rooted plants.
And that's a string of dolphins, I believe.
String of dolphins is so pretty.
And we were talking in the last video about thriller, spiller, filler.
Yeah.
Gina's actually a professional florist, you guys, and she does weddings, she does classes, and she also sells her products. What's the name of your company, Florist?
Forest Flower Shop.
Forest Flower Shop. So go to floristflowershop.com and check out her work. She's amazing.
Thank you. It's so fun to, so here's a beautiful spiller. This is what I would definitely call a thriller in this particular arrangement. And I like, really likes.
He's climbing out of his pot right now.
Yep. So be happy to get in a little soil, but we're also putting these in here kind of like an arrangement. So this is another thing where it's like a long-term but not forever flower arrangement.
Right.
So
this is protected with plastic, but there is not drainage in here, so these are not going to be happy for the rest of their lives in this arrangement. But by the time it's ready to move them, they may have outgrown their space anyway.
You'll have a full garden here.
Right.
Move things around, put a little bit more spiller, because it is just too beautiful. What is this one?
It's Burrow's tail.
Oh, it's so beautiful. And this one wants to just propagate itself all over the place too. It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
dropping all over.
Oh,
and
right.
that's fine because it'll just throw up little babies in there.
Right,
But I
so
will put
each
this
little
in
leaf,
there.
you guys, if you want to propagate your own, each of these little leaves is going to eventually sprout into a new plant.
So just working with just the beautiful texture that we have here. There is some.
Oh yeah, get on in here, Gina.
I could just, you could do this so many different ways with all of these beautiful selections, but I am,
We knew Gina was coming, so Zen and I went out to the greenhouse and just tried to read Gina's mind and think what she might want to play with.
So beautiful.
We were going for some fun textures, different textures, and
Just so beautiful.
that's an echeveria. I butchered the name in the last video. I think it's Lilacina. Oh no, that's Graptopetalum pentadrum.
You chose the hardest one, Joan.
Super bum. Otherwise known as
Best.
GPS. GPS.
Love it. Love it.
I really like that succulent. It's so powdery, kind of a lilac, lilac-y, iridescent almost. So pretty.
So pretty. There's so many beautiful things to work with. I'm having a hard time choosing what to go with first here, but this kind of, I like to put rosettes kind of where they're the kind of thriller. So we've got more of a filler in this case, I guess. Here's our filler, or thrill. I'm messing it up, guys.
Filler.
Yes, filler.
Thriller.
Filler.
Spiller.
Spiller. Thank you. It could all be all of it except for the spiller right now. It's both thriller and filler, I think. But this is where you could also just keep adding succulents and just really get that looking more like a flower arrangement here. You could also add a tillandsia.
Yeah, let me serve you this platter
Thank you.
of air plants,
That's my
Gina.
favorite platter. So, and then in this case, you would just take this out, water it separately, and plop it right back in there. You could just add some fun texture that way.
And so when you're watering this, like, I would probably use a mister to water this. I mean, I wouldn't mist the plants, I would mist the soil so that you don't overwater this, because succulents hate wet feet.
Yes.
And the air plants, you would want to just pull them out every week to 10 days, give them a soak, and then once they're dry, put them back in their display.
That's just a fun way to look at these guys. It might be kind of fun to put that. Gosh, see how many different ideas I'm getting at the same time with all of this beautiful material. This, the Crassula.
Yeah, Crassula platyphylla.
This is helpful. I always make up my own pronunciation for the names, because I'm usually by myself, making it up.
Sometimes we make up.
I love this kind of green that's bringing in this planter too. So it's fun to just, but again, it's like a florist arrangement. You know, it's these plants will go on to new homes and be happy and grow bigger later. And you can take cuttings off of here too. So if this starts to, if it roots and you like the way that it is, you can even just take a cutting and move your plant that way. And let it go down in here.
Control the size of the display.
Right.
I love that idea.
Right. Just be patient with it, with scratching a baby with coming back, but it just adds so many fun things. Or just kind of give it a little bit of space to fill in. Just for, because it's here, just add some texture. It's a great entrance piece. It's a great conversation piece.
Oh yeah, wouldn't that be beautiful on a table? Oh my gosh, I love that.
They're really great outdoor centerpieces for events too.
Yeah,
they're just
good
really
point.
great. Indoors sometimes.
You need enough light.
Yes.
To keep them happy.
You need, yep.
Succulents will stretch if they're not given enough light.
And how do you pronounce that word? Is it actually? How do you?
What?
It's a word. Another word I made up how to pronounce. And it's that stretching, and they will. And you know what I've noticed too is that morning sunshine. Oh my gosh, I didn't see these. Distracted much? That's so pretty.
Stapelia nidiformis. Am I right, Clark?
Stapeliform.
Stapelia.
Thank you.
We
But
love
yes,
working with those, too.
morning sunlight seems to keep them from stretching, in my opinion. I mean,
Right.
obviously being in a greenhouse is the best,
Right.
circumstance. But so this is just a fun planted arrangement, just kind of with that floral arrangement spin on it, which is pretty big these days. But yeah, just want to move it out when you can. And a really good way is when you are taking cuttings, sometimes it's fun to attach them. So this is a little bit more of an involved process. This is just
That's okay.
planting.
We're here for it. We can
Love it.
handle it.
Yes.
Let's try it.
So we have some floral adhesive.
Okay.
This is, I would say you can get your hands on tacky glue, and tacky glue works really well. It's just, you just want to give it some time to set up. So,
Okay, good point. So once we make this wreath, let's not just go plop it on the wall, because we
Right.
might lose our
Right.
work.
Especially with tacky glue, you're going to want to give it 24 hours of just sitting there.
Okay.
This is a little bit more floral grade, but I don't.
And what you're using Oasis,
Yeah,
floral
and
floral
Oasis.
adhesive.
Yes.
Here we have a beautiful bowl of moss. This was harvested locally here in Oregon. You have to have a permit to go and grab this, so don't just, unless it's your own home, don't just
Right.
go out, you might get in trouble. Anyway,
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful moss.
And such a beautiful, I was just saying, it's so beautiful. It could be a flower by itself. It's just so beautiful. But it's a great base for wreaths. And a lot of times, so what I would do also is probably wrap the base with wire. Right now, I was looking for my wire. It will also be just fine with some glue. So I am just going to do a small little design kind of in the down here. And so I'm just kind of setting it, and then I'll just put a touch of glue. Be really careful if you are using this kind sunshine because it likes to be aggressive, go everywhere.
Like it squirts out really fast.
Yeah, it just really can get everywhere. So, see, like just to attach things, and it works really well. So just a little bit, but it also once it dries. So I do use it with succulents sometimes, and a lot. And once it dries, it's kind of like that adhesive on the back of like a new credit card or debit card, or you know, it just kind of snaps off.
Okay.
It'll just kind of
right.
It doesn't.
It won't damage them.
It might damage my fingers, but
Right.
it doesn't damage the plants.
Awesome.
So it really doesn't. So so in this case we use cuttings, succulent cuttings. A lot of times these rosette succulents are really fun to use.
I'll just drag this over so you can reach it, Gina.
And I like to take cuttings so that the plant can recover.
So maybe let's let Clark, let's pull it out and let Clark kind of see
what
what
we're
you're
doing
doing here.
Yeah.
So this is Pearl von Nürnberg,
Yes.
Echeveria. And I'll hold the pot, and Gina's just gonna kind of go in.
I'm just gonna
Go
take
after
the
it.
cutting right from here, and
That's what's left.
with the exception of maybe that guy, most of that. So that will still.
And this will
Be a
turn
plant.
into a new plant.
Yep.
Yep.
And all of these little petals that I'm also pulling off, I'm giving it a little bit of space to have a little stem there. And when you pull the petal off the node, that's where I find that the new roots will come from. So I leave that area alone. I don't, sometimes so what I'll do to attach this, put the lid on so this wouldn't go everywhere. Here we go. What I do is I just use a little bit because it's so, oops, maybe even got a little on the stem, which will be fine. It's really strong. I probably just
I can be
glued
the
it.
I can be the holder of the
Oh,
glue if
thank
want
you.
me. Yeah.
Careful, it'll get ya. So, and I just so that it has somewhere to grab onto. This is not something I would put on a door that's being moved around, but it definitely will hold on for. It'll hold on for 6 weeks to 2 months. I mean, it'll hold on for a while, and then it'll want to get out and be replanted. But what will happen in the meantime is that roots will sprout out of here. So you really don't need to water it. This is its time to set and just be. And then if it
Harden off.
does, harden off. And if it does stay for a while, you could just, if you see roots and it's still in good shape, you could spritz it and give it a little water. So
We are a working nursery. Clark, you want to just stand over and show our crew is pulling an order right now.
So I would just add a few more little succulents. I would not cut something like the fire stick because I've done it before. And I learned the hard way that it will get you. It made my mouth go numb.
Oh,
It's got the white,
yeah.
milky sap. Yep, I did that in California and learned my lesson. So yeah. So not a good cutting one, but so beautiful in arrangements and grows really fast in the wilds in California. Yeah. See, so it was just fun to put a couple little bunches together. Again, so I took the cutting to where it should grow back, and we're just trying not to touch trying not to touch the stem too much, or the fresh cut. So it's kind of just going into its place to set. So, and that's another fun one. They're just so beautiful. I'm trying to choose some as well that don't drop the petals as much.
Okay, good point.
Because, so this guy is so beautiful for a planted arrangement, but what I found in wedding work is that these petals like to plop off. So they're really great for planting, and then anything that's going to be just moved around a little bit more, I like to make sure that the petals are really sturdy out there. This one is so pretty. Echeveria Mimosa?
I think so, yeah.
So I think I'll pull a petal. I'm always just really careful with, don't look at what I just did. And all I want careful. Whoops. But that one should still, that's what I'm careful about. It's trying to preserve. I like things that last a long time and stay alive. Or I can move them around. So I love that. I'll probably bring that moss down a little bit farther too. So the glue, again, this is a little stronger and faster working than a tacky glue. I still do let it set up for a while. I have sent things made with this glue across the world, really, and it worked out really well.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I try only to use glue in circumstances like this, where we need to, you know. So I would really like just put another little color.
Moss?
Oh, oop, just a little smidge. I'm gonna just reach. Thank you. There we go. Just a smidge. Just because I got a little rambunctious with that third succulent I put on there, and now I want another little color right here just to balance it out. Oh. And there it is. Sorry guys, sorry.
That's okay. Which one are you looking for?
This one right here. So pretty, and
That's a
pretty good, really.
it's a sedum carnicolor.
Very pretty color. Might be being a little too cautious. There we go. That'll definitely. And then I would just pull these guys off. Sorry. Maybe you'll be okay. There we go. Thank you. Sorry to go a little root there because whoops, I cut it where I didn't mean to. Whoa, see what happens with this?
Woo.
That's why just tacky glue will be just fine, guys. There we go. So that is a fun little cluster. And then you could add, without gluing it, if you're just setting this on the wall, you know, if it's going to be just a display. Oh my gosh, look, it's got a bloom on it.
It's
How
blooming!
cute is that? You could just stick it right down in there because the base of it, I mean, the goal is for this.
Oh wow, it does. That glue does set up
Sets
fast.
fast. I still won't be too rambunctious with it.
Right.
But look how cute that little airplane is in there.
Oh my gosh, I
The
love
bloom-
it.
The bloom just made the whole thing. So, and then, you know, sometimes if there's a little glue showing, even with tacky glue, I'll just take a little more of the moss or medium that I'm working with and just make sure to fill that. Kind of helps, if there is that extra glue, it helps kind of lock everything in, but also hides the mechanics a little bit too.
Right.
I'm an event florist, so sometimes I spend a little too long on it, or a little longer than others might on just hiding mechanics and such, but it's just a fun, easy little project.
Gorgeous.
Definitely good for a whole season.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Gina. That was really fun. I feel really inspired to play.
Thank you for having me. So fun.
Bye, guys.